Be honest, I would much rather be single and used by God than in one of these shallow relationships used by my flesh. Many people would not understand this concept because they don't have a solid foundation with God. But God is my sole provider. The reason why I never feel lonely is because I'm in the company of God. How I see God is how I see myself. I see God as sacred. I see God as pure. I see God as love. I see God as the creator. I see God in nature. This is why I enjoy grounding myself and being outside and being one with nature. Just allowing myself to simply breathe and be present, because that is what God is. This moment right here, right now. The reason why so many people have anxiety is because they're planning for a bad future that might not ever happen. They're thinking too far in advance when all we have is now. And you truly start making better and wiser decisions once you love yourself. Once you see yourself as God, you start respecting your body, you start respecting your temple, and you start holding yourself at a higher standard. You realize that when you're on this mission with God, you can't get distracted. You can't allow your flesh to control you or your ego to take control of your emotions. You have to be in your righteous mind and your right mind at all times. And this causes true awareness. This causes deliberate intentions on the path. It causes you to be an outcast. It causes you not to relate to this world. And it's so much power to be in this world and not of this world. It's an art of balance. It's like I'm still human. I still feel, I still have emotions. I still crave companionship. I still crave friendship and belonging and acceptance from this world. But you have to realize that we're living in a matrix, and they are pushing us further and further away from the truth, which is God. God is the truth. And if you are away from God, you're going to be consumed up into the ego, into opinions of others, into capitalism. That's no good for your spirit, because once you see your spirit in its highest form of love, you start moving different. You don't be everywhere doing anything. You don't waste time, because you spend majority of your time with God in silence and peace and joy and humility. Because as you can relate to yourself, you then start relating to others. Then start giving grace to others, because you give grace to yourself. Because God gives grace to us all. God is the only form of unconditional love. God is the only form of unconditional love. A human is not able to give you unconditional love. They don't have the capacity, because we have to protect ourselves. We have to operate from self-preservation. You have to have boundaries, or if you don't, people will walk all over you. And I used to be a huge people pleaser. I wanted to be liked by everyone, and I wanted to do everything right by everyone. And do you know how exhausting that was? It left me depleted. It left me not being authentic and true. But man, oh man, once I teamed up with God, I don't give a fuck. I have a I don't give a fuck mentality. I can just swap a queen bee if they come near me, you know. It makes you operate from a place of fearlessness, not fearing anything, not caring about anyone or what they got to say, because you know your purpose and you know your mission. And all of our purpose is different, but the true purpose for everyone is simply to be yourself and be love. And once I freed myself from thinking that my purpose is to love a specific person, especially when it comes to romance. I let go of that illusion and I stepped into the truth of my being, my beingness and my wholeness and my holiness. I carry myself as pure and I keep it pure. I keep it peaceful, but I keep it holy, because how I see myself is how I see God. So I have to be delicate with me. I have to give myself that unconditional love that I am looking for other people, and give it to myself, because I know that God got me. And I realize my purpose here is to be love, not to search for love, not to beg for love, but to simply be love. And only God can help you by truly being love. But I can go on and on. I can go on and on and on about what God means to me. It's unique and it's different for all of us. And I would suggest to anyone, build that connection with God. Have a solid relationship, because then you will not want to just give yourself away so easily. And you'll probably start looking at things differently, and you start seeing beyond the illusions that the Matrix has been feeding us to get us so far, far away from our truth. And which I said before, the truth is God, and all the answers lies within.